Hey everyone, welcome back to Forward Therapy. My name is Kelly Troutman. I'm a certified hand therapist, and today's video is the last video of the series that we have been going through different learning styles and different types of learning based on the VARK or the VARK learning styles. Today's video is all about reading and writing style learning. So if that sounds like you or someone you know, let's get into it. So if you've seen any of the last few videos on the channel, you know that we have been going through the VARK learning styles techniques. So the reason these are important is because they can really help you to narrow down what type of learning style might work best for you so that you can study more effectively and learn information more effectively, whether or not you are a student on field work or getting ready to go into your internships, or if you're in OT or PT school or other types of classes that you need to learn material for to be able to do well in your academic pursuit, or even if you just want to get better at your job and provide better care for your patients. All of these are reasons why you might want to know what your learning style is. If you missed any of those past videos, you can find them below in the description section. So go ahead and check those out as well. And we'll get into some reading strategies today, or reading and writing learners strategies. Of course, if you are a reading or writing type of learner and you have some strategies that seem to work really well for you, please share them below because we can all benefit from knowing more strategies. But I came up with a few ideas that I think could be really helpful for those that learn best by reading or writing. People that have a reading or writing type of learning style might do really well by using a lot of lists. Whether or not you're kind of organizing your study schedule or what topics you need to cover, make a list for it, or even just being able to categorize information from your notes or from the material that you're trying to learn. Make it into lists so that it has a clear and concise format and you can categorize things and really see where they fit to help you memorize the information. You can also turn your notes into bulleted lists. So it might be something where you go through your notes, you've written all of this information out, but it might not be in kind of a concise or clear way. So you can go ahead and rewrite your notes in a bullet point format so that things are very easy to follow along and very organized in that way. The cool thing about the reading and writing learning style is that you actually might do pretty well with traditional study methods like reading the textbook or essays or journal articles. You can use different strategies to go along and kind of absorb the information more easily, whether or not you want to kind of mark the passages or even like kind of write in the margins of the textbook. I wouldn't necessarily recommend highlighting, but for some people they do pretty well with that. It's just not as easy to retain information that way. But you could go through and kind of take notes on the sections that you're going through in the textbook, and that might be a pretty effective way for you to study. Again, related to kind of reading the textbook or the material that you're trying to read, you might do an exercise where as you're reading the information or the material, you keep a list of notes next to you that you can write what you've read in your own words. So it's like kind of summarizing or taking notes in your own words to help you retain the information that you've read a little bit more easily. Another tip that I thought could be helpful potentially regarding your notes are reorganizing the notes into categories or schemas. Kind of find new and interesting ways to reorganize the notes that you've taken to make it a little bit more comprehensive or easy to absorb for yourself so that things are not all over the place. It will help you kind of organize that information and take it in a little bit better. It might be a good exercise also to reorganize your notes and kind of make them a little bit more concise. So let's say you've taken 3 pages of notes on a certain topic, on nerves in the body or something like that. Try and see if you can compress those 3 pages down into 1 page of notes, right? So you're going from something very large scale and kind of tapering it down into a more manageable format. And that way you're gonna have to rewrite and reorganize the information, and that will help you to retain it a little bit better by figuring out what the important points are. You might also be somebody that does pretty well creating mnemonics, which can be helpful memory tools. I remember in grad school, there was a classmate, a good friend of mine, that used mnemonics for a lot of the anatomical components. So I don't remember the exact mnemonic that she had created, but for some of the muscles of the forearm, kind of the flexor, pronator, wad, she had kind of named them after Harry Potter characters. So that was like a helpful way for her to remember those muscles and what they did, and the order of them as well. So mnemonic devices can be really helpful. You can find a lot of really common kind of popular ones out there, but you could also invent your own, and that might be a good exercise for you in being able to remember information more efficiently. And the last idea that I was able to come up with for reading or writing type of learning style would be to use a whiteboard or a dry erase board. And so that way you can just continually rewrite your notes over and over in your own words, right? That's the key. It's not just rewriting by copying, but it's taking that written sentence or that topic or that paragraph and being able to summarize it in a shorter way in your own words. And you can continually rewrite that on the whiteboard. So you can kind of prompt yourself by asking a question and then filling in the blanks, or you could draw a little chart or a Venn diagram or things like that and be able to kind of fill in the blanks of a certain topic. That way you're able to memorize that information. It's almost like giving yourself a little quiz. So I think that would also potentially be a really helpful strategy for somebody that learns that way. All right, you guys, so that is going to wrap this video up, and actually this entire series of the VARK learning styles. I hope that this video and all of those videos were helpful. I think that it's not, maybe the sexiest topic, talking about learning styles and how to study, but I do think that that's something really beneficial to know about yourself so that you can find ways that work well for you so that you're not just wasting hours of time studying material that you're not going to remember, right? I think the more ways we can be efficient, the more you can learn and the better you can do at your job, at school, on your clinical internships, all of those things. So it's really a helpful strategy to use. And of course, if anybody has other ideas out there, would love to know about them. Go ahead and share them below in the comments, and we will resume some other video topics coming up, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.